Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we are going to discuss the second lesson, Lost Spring, which was written by Anees Jung. The title itself is a metaphor, Lost Spring. So here spring means childhood. Lost spring means childhood is lost. That means you can understand easily that this lesson is about child labor. Lost Spring is a lesson written by Anees Jung. This is an extract from her book Stories of Stolen Childhood, and this lesson highlights the burning issue of child labor in India. Anees Jung had moved around India and got first-hand experience with the children. And in this particular lesson, she had given the account of two boys named Saheb-E-Alam and Mukesh. Two characters are highlighted. First of all, we'll learn about Saheb-E-Alam. Who is this Saheb-E-Alam? What is his background? Let us see. In 1971, a group of people came to India from Bangladesh and settled in Simapuri. Simapuri is nowhere, just beside Delhi. Even though it is just beside Delhi, it is far away metaphorically. That means in terms of technology and all facilities, it is far away. Sahib's family is among them. The people who came to this Simapuri, among them Sahib's family is one. And they came to this area when their fields and crops were swept away by storms in 1971. Simapuri was then a wilderness. It still is. Means in those days it was and it is still in the same condition. But it is no longer empty. In structures of mud with roofs of tin and tarpaulin, divide of sewage drainage of running water, live 10,000 rag pickers. Here, those people who came from Bangladesh have settled in Simapuri, and almost 10,000 people were living there. And what is their occupation is rag picking. They have lived here for more than 30 years without an identity, without permits, but with ration cards that get their names on voters list and enable them to buy grain. See here, those people have come here illegally. That's why they are called as squatters. Squatters. Squatters mean so illegal occupants. They came here and settled here, and they were not provided with any facility like drainage water or anything, but their names were on the ration cards, because if the ration card is given, they can get their vote. But here the political leaders are tricky to have their names on the ration cards and the voter list, but they were not given any identity cards like Aadhaar card. Okay, that is what. Even though they are happy, even though the identity cards were not given, they are happy because here you can see the line: food is more important for survival than identity. That is what. Food is more important than for survival than identity. So that is what important for them. Survival in Simapuri means rag picking. Adults and children did the same work and earned their livelihood. So everything is garbage, garbage, garbage. Even the small kids and the adults, everybody involved in rag picking only. Garbage is gold for them, right? Garbage is gold. It is also metaphor. Why it is compared to gold? Because it is everything for them. Okay. Next, here, after knowing this boy for many days, writer had a conversation with Saheb-E-Alam. Yes, let us go through it directly. After observing for many days, Anis Jung asked Saheb, "Why do you do this?" "I have nothing else to do," he mutters, looking away. "Go to school." I say glibly. Glibly means here insincere, because she knew that there are no schools, realizing immediately how hollow the advice must sound. That advice really useless because there are no schools, and there is no school in my neighborhood. When they build me, or when they build one, I will go. He said, "If I start a school, will you come?" I asked, half joking. Here I means author, the narrator, Anis Jung. "Yes," he says, smiling broadly. This is the conversation. "Hey, why are you doing this?" Means I don't have anything to do. Then go to school. Again, there are no schools. "And if I start a school, will you come?" "Yes," he smiled. That means the boy is very much interested to go to school, but there are no schools. A few days later, after this conversation, I see him running up to me. "Is your school ready?" So after a few days, He ran to her and asked, Madam, madam, is your school ready? Re- Really, his innocence you can easily understand. Then she said, it takes longer to build a school. I say, embarrassed at having made a promise that was not meant. She was really embarrassed at having made the false promise. But promises like mine abound in every corner of his bleak world. Whatever the promises that she had made, even though it is half joking or just insincere, the boy had taken her words so seriously. That is why he came and asked, Madam, is your school ready? Let's go to that next part. And thus, after knowing him for many days, she asked his name, and he told that his name was Saheb-E-Alam. He told that his name was Saheb-E-Alam. She was shocked to hear his name, which means Lord of the Universe, but the boy had been the rag picker of the streets. It is ironical, right? So his name is Lord of the Universe, but he is doing the job of rag picking, a barefoot boy, right? That is why it is ironical. She had seen the barefoot boys in the street of Simapuri. She had explained three reasons for not wearing chappals. Children do not wear chappals. Why? There are three reasons. One reason she had explained was, one reason is poverty, the other reason is lack of interest, and the third reason is because of tradition. Sometimes traditions, sometimes poverty, sometimes lack of money to buy those things. She had explained three reasons. She had also explained the story of a Udupi boy who had not worn chappals because of poverty. The boy was a son of priest and used to pray to goddess for a pair of shoes. Finally, his prayers were heard and he got shoes. Even after getting them, he prayed, Oh goddess, let me not lose them. That means, in such a way, in those days, buying shoes or chappals is also very tough. Yes, let's go to the next part. Right. Sahab wears shoes. Yay. Just now we discussed in the previous slide, buying shoes very difficult, but here he wears shoes. How? Let us see. One winter morning, Anis Jung had seen Saheb at a tennis court. He was watching the game very intently. When she asked him, she told that he liked the game very much. By the way, he was wearing shoes which were discarded and a hole in one of them. He received those shoes from a rich boy who refused to wear because they were discarded. But for a boy like Saheb, wearing shoes, even though discarded, dream came true. So a rich boy had given those discarded shoes to Saheb, you know. So for that rich boy, they are useless, but for this poor boy, they are worth wearing. Remember this. And he was feeling very happy. And he told that, I like that game, ma'am, right? I like that game, ma'am. So sometimes I enter into the court and the keeper or the watchman allows me to use the swing. That is how he had explained. But on seeing his shoes and his happiness, the author felt the dream of wearing shoes has come true, but the dream of playing the game, maybe it's not in his riches. Like that, she felt. Next, Sam has been a slave. Yes, let us see how he had become a slave. On the other day, Saheb is on his way to the milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister. I now work in a tea stall down the road, he says, pointing in the distance. I am paid 800 rupees and all my meals. Here, Saheb is very proud to announce himself that he had been working somewhere in the hotel and 800 rupees per month and all his meals. And does he like the job? I ask, but his face, I see, has lost the carefree look. That means the steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulder. The bag which he carried his own, but lighter. At the same time, the can which he is carrying is heavier, but not his own. The bag was his. The canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop. It is not his own. Sahib is no longer his own master. Until then, he can go anywhere, he can do anything. But here, he is not his own master. He must be there on time. He must work under this man. Whatever the master says, he must work. and thus he had become a slave. Thus, there are so many children who are struggling instead of enjoying their childhood, and thus you can understand that there is child labor in India. There ends the first part, my dear students, and let us go to the second part in the next video. Until then, keep watching my videos, and if you like my video, please subscribe. Thank you.